Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for our discussion on Nectar of Devotion, detailed studies. So today we are going into chapter 18. And of course, my heartfelt gratitude to Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Gandhi Mataji and Nanda Devi Mataji for joining us today. Of course, after a long break, I think almost, almost a week or two, all right, after a long break. So we gathered here today to continue our discussion, all right? So thank you so much. So before we start, let's do our invocation prayer. In your mind, think of the best flower, or what you can do, you can just get one big handful of jasmine and just offer to all that spiritual master and all the spiritual preceptor. Without their mercy and blessings, it is not possible for us to be here and to discuss this very nectarian book and also a very confidential part. If you really study Nectar of Devotion in detail, you will start to understand a lot of confidential what they call confidential part of devotional service, all right? And we are grateful to all the acharyas who translated, especially Srila Prabhupada, who made it very simplified. And of course, we detail study, and of course, to the Prabhu who have given the Sanskrit add-on, the book that we are referring. Okay, let's do our invocation. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarjadam Shagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Kada Damadaya Nagara Grama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasa Chidesatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devidaitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Viknanadaine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jola Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtai Rina Tarini Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidantadvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupai Rupanuga Vrayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Karutase Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kantarada Kantanamustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneswari Vrishabhanustude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Shri Gaura Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. Welcome Saki Champakalata Mataji and also Karpiya Saras Mataji. Okay, so we're supposed to do the program next week, but I just can't take it without your association. Thank you for all your wonderful association. The Vaishnava Association is so nice, even though we are doing it online. Even though that we are doing it online, and of course our association is virtual, but still the devotee association is still wonderful. All right, so today we're going to continue our discussion on chapter 18. Okay, so before we go to the chapter 18, let's have a quick recap what we have studied so far, because we have got such a long break. All right, so in chapter 17 we discussed on this, what they call ecstatic love. Okay, so ecstatic love, so this is actually the new part of the chapter. Okay, if you see here is atta bhavaha, that means we have already completed the what they call Eastern Ocean first wave and second wave. So in chapter 17 onwards, we are coming to the Eastern Ocean third wave. Okay, third wave. And in the third wave is actually we discussed on ecstatic love. Okay, so in ecstatic love, there's a lot of things we have. Okay. Okay, so starting of this chapter 17, Srila Rupa Goswami is giving a fantastic statement. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryangsu Sangyabhak Ruchibis Tichitta Mashrinya Krit Asau Bhava Uchyate. So he says by the process of executing regulated devotional service. What is regulated devotional service? Can anyone tell me? What is a regulated devotional service?
Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti Prabhu.
Very good. So we are talking about Vaidhi Sadhana. Okay. So when we start to follow the regulated or devotional Vaidhi Sadhana, right? So one is actually elevated unto the transcendental stage. Why we are going into the transcendental stage? Because we are denying our material existence. We are denying all the we are denying all the anarthas, all right, all the unwanted things that we have in our heart. We are trying to get rid of it. Okay, anartha nivritti, right? So we don't want to have fun. Okay, we don't want to eat meat, which is very relishing. If those who have eaten meat, you should know. Eating meat, mutton, beef, pork, chicken, fish, everything is so relishing. We give up. All right, we give up. Then secondly, illicit sex. All right, illicit sex, sexual relationship is the highest form of pleasure in this material world. Okay, it is not only existing in human form of life, but in every species of life. In every species of life. Even when you see people kill each other just for the sake of it. Okay. Like even when you see the animals, like lion, tigers, they fight. Only the best will mate. The mating process happen, only the best. So they like that. So it's the highest. We give that up. Right? Intoxication. Tell me, every human being, some or other got entangled with intoxication, coffee, tea, alcohol. Right? All this kind of intoxication. Who don't like it? We give it up. We give it up. All right. And gambling. Just imagine you just put 1 ringgit and you're going to strike 1 million. Isn't that a fantastic deal? You know, but it's gambling. We give it up. So we give up all these things for the sake of what? Of elevating ourselves, for the sake of because we understood this kind of material this kind of happiness in this material world actually is not happiness. We give up and we follow some strict rules. We always chant our Hare Krishna mantra, minimum 16 rounds. We only eat pure vegetarian food, and that also no patai. Patai and mushroom cannot be offered to Krishna. So we give that up also. We give up patai, which is so nice. We give up mushroom, which is so nice. We give that up because that is the food in mode of ignorance. We don't want to have any ignorant food. Then we also give up that mode of passion. That too much of what they call spice. We try to keep it in a very sattvic food. We give up all that. And not only that, we cook, then what we do, we happily offer to Krishna first. We offer to Krishna and we take it as remnant. Even sometimes it's tasty or non-tasty, We simply accept it with ecstatic feeling that this is the part of what they call prasadam. We give up. Why? Why we give up all this? Oh, Saki Mataji raised her hand. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Saswata Prabhu.
Prabhu, mushroom சாப்பிடக்கூடாது அது தெரியும் Prabhu. Patai cannot be offered, Prabhu.
Yeah, Patai is not of ignorance, Prabhu.
Oh, okay.
Patai, durian all cannot offer word.
ஏன் Prabhu? Patai.
சரியான நாத்தம் இல்ல.
என்ன பண்ணும்?
Smell, because of smell.
Smell, pungent. The food. You see in Bhagavad Gita, the three food in the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, right? So
Okay.
what is the food in the mode of ignorance?
டிகே பண்ணிட்டு இருக்குது, நாத்தம் அடிக்கிறது.
Decay, pungent, decaying, pungent smell.
சமைச்சு பல நாள் ஆவன சாப்பாடு.
அதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. ஆனா வந்து the one of the most important is pungent, right?
Yes.
அது ஒரு மாதிரியான நீங்க வந்து அந்த பித்தாயை உடைச்சா கூட ஒரு மாதிரி கேஸ் மாதிரி வரும்ல.
Yeah, smelly இருக்கும்.
ஒரு மாதிரி கேஸ் மாதிரி வரும். சாப்பிட்டாலும் வாய் நாத்தடிக்கும், டாய்லெட் போனாலும் டாய்லெட்ல நாத்தடிக்கும். Right?
Yeah.
So the food under pungent.
Okay.
தமிழ்ல எப்படி சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியல. pungent.
துர்நாற்றம்.
துர்நாத்தமா சரில. So pungent and durian also falls under pungent.
Okay, bro. Thanks.
So this is the food in the mode of ignorance. So in anything you cannot offer durian, right, Prabhu?
Yeah, definitely cannot.
So durian and patai is under same category.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. But nowadays everybody is so addicted to patai and they're offering patai. நம்ம வீட்லயும் அதான் நடக்கும்.
இல்ல bro, நமக்கு பிடிக்கும் அதனால வாசமா தான் தெரியும் bro. நம்மளால பகவான் நிலைமைக்கு போக முடியல. பகவான் நம்ம நிலைமைக்கு கொண்டு வந்துறோம் சில டைம் நம்ம. அது very wrong அது. Okay, anyway, thanks bro.
Because I never eaten patai in my life. After I got married to my wife, that's when we start to eat patai. And of course my children all love patai. Then of course I hated patai. Then of course it's pungent. Then I said you don't offer. ஆரம்பத்துல ஆஃபர் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. I didn't know. Then they say no, you cannot. What they do, they just the sambal offer பண்ணிட்டு then they put the patai in. So now eventually we stopped. So patai. சரியா? All this in mode of ignorance. So we want to give up. Okay, like now Prabhu is asking a question. All right. So Prabhu, do you feel like giving up? Since you love patai, do you feel like giving up patai now?
Yes bro. Chances is there.
So nice. You want to give up? நல்லா இருக்கே. Durian? How about durian? You want to give up durian?
ஐயோ, அதெல்லாம் ஒரு heart and soul Prabhu.
But now you understand this is total mode of ignorance. You want to give up?
Give up and get I cannot answer now, but then we can try bro.
Okay, now I ask you this question. Do you have intention to give up? You cannot give up now, but you have intention to give up?
Yes, definitely bro. Ultimately நம்ம என்ன கன்சியூம் பண்ணாலும் அது பிரசாதமா தான் இருக்கும்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் விரும்புறேன்.
Correct.
But we are in the process bro.
Yeah, but why? Why you want to take the process of giving up something that you like the most? Because
just want to please
Krishna.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We are not offered to Krishna. I don't want to take any karma.
இல்ல அதனால தான் இந்த டாபிக்ல நம்ம பார்த்தோம்னா the process executing what? Why we want to give up? Because we are executing Vaidhi sadhana.
Regulated devotional sense.
We want to regulate. We don't take all that. For what we want to do it? Because we want to elevate ourselves. நம்ம தரத்தை உயர்த்த பார்க்கிறோம். நம்ம அதிலே இருக்க வேணாம். We want to increase our this thing. Saki Mataji, you got another question?
Yeah, no, bro. Yeah, bro.
Oh, okay. Hands up. Okay. So you want to elevate yourself. Elevate yourself to where? Where you want to increase yourself. This is so interesting. All right? Eating meat, intoxication, drinking wine, beer, whiskey, or eating gambling, and all intox is so nice. Durian is so nice. Patai is so nice. You want to give them up. Oh, just give me a second. Battery is going off. Where's the thing? Just give me a second. Okay. So we want to give them up. Why? So interesting thing we want to give up because we want to elevate. We want to increase because we know this is the thing that we were stuck in this material because this is the thing that satisfy your tongue, satisfy your smell, satisfy your feeling, but it doesn't help you spiritually. So you want to elevate yourself into where? Into the transcendental stage. You want to go to the level of transcendental, right? And what is that? Why so big deal about transcendental? Why can't I just simply remain here? Because the transcendental stage is beyond the material mode of nature. So it's not, it's beyond. That means, like you see, the patai is mode of ignorance. The food in mode of ignorance, patai, durian. All right. But now you want to elevate yourself because you want to go beyond the material mode of nature. Passion, goodness, passion, ignorance. Right? Goodness, passion. You want to go beyond that three mode of material nature. Now you get it? I want to process, I want to execute Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakti, that is regulated devotional service, to elevate myself to the transcendental stage. Why? Because it is beyond the three mode of material nature. Right? In chapter 14, right? We started chapter 14 Bhagavad Gita. We speak about Prabhupada, and of course, the first, if you get a chance, please study chapter 14. It is amazing. Read word by word. Word by word. Don't read fast. Word by word. If you get a chance one day when we start Bhagavad Gita, we definitely, that's the thing. It's amazing. And Krishna says, if you understand this, chapter 14, you are definitely marching on your way back home, back to Godhead. Because we are all entangled in this material world because of these three mode of material nature. We are stuck in the mode of passion, we stuck in the mode of ignorance, we stuck in the mode of goodness. And even Krishna, Prabhupada, after that in verse 4 or 5, it says, but, verse 5, I think, verse 5 or 6, he says, okay, I got a Gita with me. You all got a Bhagavad Gita? Please open chapter 14. So when you look at chapter 14, okay, text 6, Krishna says, Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanaga. All right, we don't talk about mode of ignorance, mode of passion. We know that is not good. Mode of ignorance no good, mode of passion is no good. But let's look at mode of goodness. Is that good? Yes, its mode of goodness is good. But here, what Krishna says here, in text 6, he says, O sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than the others. Mode of goodness is better or more pure than the mode of passion and mode of ignorance. Is illuminating. Velichama irukum, tejas. Sometimes you can see the aura. The people in mode of goodness, they got a strong aura. Wow, who is this guy? You know, illuminating. Okay. And at the second statement, Krishna says, it frees one from all sinful reaction. Prakashakam. Prakashakam na anamayam. So you, this thing. Second, sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanagya. All right. So it says that anamayam, without sinful reaction. That means mode of goodness will remove you from sinful reaction. All right. So what is the people in mode of goodness? How do they look? These are the people are what they call they are conditioned. That means they are conditioned. They in that kind of situation, mode of goodness, they are conditioned in the sense of happiness and knowledge. All right. But the question we should ask, what does it mean by condition? What does it mean by condition? All right. Condition Tamil nibandhanaya. All right. What do you mean condition? So I am conditioned in the mode of goodness. So where do the condition come from? Say I want to bake a cake. Bake a cake. Where the ingredient come? First, I need to have a flour. Then I need to have sugar. Then I need to have self-raising flour. I need to have all these kind of ingredient. Then I combine the ingredient. I put in oven. It turns out to be a cake. All right. So similarly, that cake, okay, that cake is the product or the conditioning of the combination of all these recipe. So similarly, when we talk about mode of goodness, it is the combination of knowledge, of detachment, following a good principle, following the four regulative principle, all these kind of things. It is the condition. That means you are in the mode of goodness. And what is the result of the mode of goodness? Happiness and knowledge. But here, so we understand that. Okay, so far everyone understand this? Right, because I'm coming to the point now. So far, do you understand what I meant by chapter 14, text 6? Okay, Saki understood. How about others? Gandhi Mataji, Saras Mataji? Nanda, okay, Nanda
Yes.
Mataji. Okay. You got it, huh? Gandhi Mataji, yes.
Okay, Prabhu. Can.
You got it. All right. So now we are talking about even you're in the mode of goodness, you're conditioned. Okay. That means, in other words, even you become a king, you are still living in this material world. I become the king of Malaysia. I stay in a palace. When the rain comes, I will experience the rain. Even the beggar on the street also experience the rain. But I am elevated in the palace, but the beggar is lying on the street. All right. The situation is different, but the condition is same. You all understand what I mean? So what I'm saying here is even that, so here it says, when you start to practice regulated devotional service, you want to elevate yourself where? Beyond. You want to go out of this material mode of nature. We are not talking, don't be excited staying in the mode of goodness. Oh, I'm in the mode of goodness. So what? You're in the mode of goodness, you're still not a big deal because you still remain in this material condition of life. So we have to go beyond that material condition of life. Dog tied with gold chain and metal chain. Oh, gold chain and metal. Okay. Yeah. So now, so we want to go beyond this material mode of nature. All right. So now imagine like now I'm struggling just to maintain my mode of goodness because I cannot give up patai and durian, example. But here, Suddha Sattva, the pure goodness, right? Suddha. Okay, Visheshatma, Prema Suryangsu. So you have to go beyond that. Why we want to go beyond that? Because we are not in, even you are in the mode of goodness, but you are still materially conditioned. All right. So now let's see what happened. So here, Krishna is continuing. Here, Rupa Goswami is saying, at the time one's heart becomes illuminated. At that time, okay, what happened? If you go out of these three modes of material nature, what happened? You are illuminated like the sun. All right, the sun. You will start to have tejas like a sun. But in chapter 14, text 6, what Krishna says? He says, you will be illuminating. You will be illuminating. If you're in the mode of goodness, you're already illuminating. But if you go beyond the three mode of material nature, you start to illuminate like the sun. All right? Prema Suryangsu. Surya. So you start to illuminate like a sun. All right? And he says, now, the sun is far above the planetary system. The sun is at the very, very far away. And there's no possibility of being covered by any kind of cloud. So when you see the sun is far away, now you see there's a cloud. Actually, it's just a temporary covering. But sun can never be covered by anything. No one can cover up sun. Similarly, when a devotee is purified like the sun. So when the devotee, what is the takeaway word here? Purified. Okay, the devotee is purified like the sun. Because the sun is so pure. Nobody can block the sun. There's no, even a big forest fire also can never block the sun. You can bring all the smoke in the world and try to block, you can never block the sun. All right? Okay, sometimes when you see eclipse, only there's something that cross over the sun, but you can never stop the sunlight. Still it's bright, but you see something is blocking the sun during eclipse. So similarly, when the devotee becomes purified like the sun, so what happened? When he becomes purified like the sun, okay, his pure heart there, diffusion, ecstatic love. At that moment, you know what happened? From his pure heart, there is a diffusion of ecstatic love. So the purification, that means when the devotee purify like the sun means when the devotee is pure heart, is diffusion of the ecstatic love. Once you come to the level of ecstatic love, which is called prema. So once the devotee go to the level of ecstatic love, okay, once the level of prema, and his heart start to diffuse. I mean, diffuse now, வெளியாக்குறது, வெளிச்சத்தை வெளியாக்குறது. All right, which is more glorious than the sunshine. So that means he says that's more glorious than the sunshine. So that means when the devotee walks with tejas, with a pure, in a prema, the heart, the illuminating of the heart, they look more tejas than the sun up there. Sometimes the sun up there can be very irritating. When it's so hot, so hot, it's so bright, I can't even see it. Not nice. But when you see a pure devotee walks past you, the tejas, right? It is more purer than the sun. which I just experienced last week. When my spiritual master came to this, what they call, when I met him in Penang, we all were sitting in that that Ahira Vaisir Chettiar hall. Then I saw that Guru Maharaj came. As he entered, it is just, just like a glorious sun, such a strong tejas. You know, sometimes when they take photo, you see the photo, nothing big deal, just photo. You know, you can't get the real picture. But when I saw him after so long, after 3 years I'm meeting him, right? Seeing him, the tejas, the shine, it's so illuminating, right? Like that we see, like even like a lot of example, like a Prabhupada disciple will be telling, when he walks in, it's just like a golden form illuminating. But in picture, we can't see. We see black and white. I was wondering, what is that golden form they're talking about, devotees? The golden form, right? The golden form. Actually, now I start to realize, oh, this is what they meant. It's illuminating. Every part of the body is illuminated, shooting. And every devotee became mesmerized. Mesmerized. They were speechless. Pin drop silent. All right. So like that. So like, okay. So this is what. So what the thing we're going to talk about is the ecstatic love. All right. So in chapter 17, we went through that all varieties of ecstatic love in a brief this thing. So now we're going to go to the. So now also we understood about apparent accident development or ecstatic feeling through the causeless mercy of Krishna can be divided in 3 groups. Right. Simply by speaking, glancing, and simply by good wishes. All right. Also give a lot of example here. All right. So I hope that you all remember that. Okay. So now we start our new chapter, chapter 18. All right, which is the characteristic of one in ecstatic love. Now we have read the overall picture of ecstatic love. What is the ecstatic love? The ecstatic love. Okay, the conclusion is the first paragraph itself. Rupa Goswami have already mentioned. It is just like an illuminating sun, which is more glorious than the sun up there. Right? But when you get the interesting, when we start to practice sadhan bhakti, and the sadhan bhakti means what is the goal of sadhan bhakti? We want to elevate ourselves above the 3 mode of material nature. Okay, we are not interested in any of these 3 mode of material nature. Even like being a Brahmana, following the strict rules and regulation, it is still materially conditioned. Why? When the Brahmana or the higher caste see another other caste, abistu. You don't go here. No. When people no. I mean, it's like, you know, sometimes, okay, I give you a good example. Even like, we don't talk about Brahmana. Any one of us, when we are walking, suddenly we see one beggar suddenly come and ask you, come near you, give me money. What will you do? You'll try to run away. All right? You just take the money, just give him 1 ringgit, 2 ringgit. Just you don't want him to come and bother you. You know? So that means we are still under the 3 mode of material nature. We still have the differentiating attitude. We got the duality. The duality, good and bad, high caste, low caste. All right. Hot and cold. All right. All there's a duality. This world is full of duality. I'm very happy, at the same time, I'm very sad. All right. It's a world of duality. So we understand that when we start to practice sadhan bhakti, when the sadhan bhakti become a habit, and that's when everything is powerfully stick to you. Right. So now let's look, what is that? What does it mean by habit? Okay. Let's look at this word habit. Okay, you all can see this? All right. So now let's look at this word habit. Now, when you look at the word habit here, you know how powerful is this statement here? Okay. Now, habit. Okay, habit, palaka valakangal, habit. So once you keep on practicing, they say if you practice 1 mandala, 40 days, it will become habit. Or you do one thing more than 3 times. First time you do, second time you do, third time you do, okay, you must stop. But if you're going to do it the 4th time onwards, it can turn into habit. You know how powerful is habit? Number 1, I remove age. What you can see? A beat. Then now I remove A. Beat. Now I remove B. Eat. Once a person develop bad habit or good habit, It will stick to you rest of your life. It is not easy to give it up. You only can give up through some strong element. Example, you want to give up alcohol, you want to give up addiction to cigarette smoking and all these kind of things. You have to go through some kind of severe kind of medication, putting up a patch, taking up some kind of methadone, to get rid of your desire for drugs. All these kind of things, it takes so much of serious and severe practice just to remove that habit that we have accumulated. Right? It's very hard to give up. All right. So, but that's one way. But another way, of course, but in spiritually, when you simple, Prabhupada said it very easily. You start to develop your higher taste. When you get your higher taste, the mundane, useless taste will go off. Simple as that. And he proved it. Right? So, sadhan bhakti, and the association of pure devotee, taking instruction from the pure devotee and executing the instruction of the pure devotee, you could able to give up without methadone, without patch, without any kind of alcohol therapy and all this kind of thing, nothing. You could just simply give it up. But if you still struggle to give up, that means what it says, you have still anarthas, you still have contemplation. There's only two things. I want to give up, I don't want to give up. There's nothing in between. I want to give up. I still feel like, yeah, நல்லா இருக்குமே இன்னொரு pack beer அடிச்சா there's no such thing. Either you give it up or you don't give it up. Right? See, but when you start to give a little option, I think no lah. Pop, your bee will appear again. Then you start to practice that pop, a beat will appear again. Then pop, again you fall back into the full habit. It's very hard. Right? So now when we talk about the good habit, right? After 40 days of practice sadhan bhakti and all these kind of things, all the anarthas, all the wrong things will simply leave you for good. Nothing. It will never have it in yourself. All right. So we want to do that. So once we want to learn about characteristic of one, character of one in ecstatic love. The question is, why should I know this? Better know, because it can be a motivational factor. When you start to eat another slice of durian or another piece of patai, or you want to take another cup of beer, think again. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? What is so exciting about it? Is it worth it or not? But sometimes you can argue, hey, some of the big devotees, brahmacharis, or they also eat durian. We don't care about others. We follow what Prabhupada teaches. All right? Not to say they are this thing, but they have their guru to guide them. They have their conscience and Krishna in the heart. We do not need to worry about anyone else. Oh, they also can do. Why can't do it? Sometimes you can see even they cook patai in the temple. Even Food for Life, they also add patai. Right? We can say, we don't worry about that. Now the problem is we want to come out of this. Okay, we want to practice Vaidhi. And this thing, now we're going to study about the characteristic of those people in that ecstatic love. What are their characteristics? All right. So it's going to be a very interesting topic. So before we start, shall we just take a short break? Okay. We take a short break. After that, we just continue without this thing. So, okay. All right. Hare Krishna. Let's continue. Okay. Let's look at that characteristic of one in ecstatic love. All right. So now we want to find out what is that characteristic. So we want to learn about some, especially they say it's always, okay, sometimes we need to study about people who are in that, so that we will try to evolve ourselves. Okay. Now let's look at this. Shanti, okay, it's quoted in from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.25. Or sorry, it's quoted in what they call, who's quoting? Rupa Goswami is quoting chapter first ocean, third wave, text 25, first ocean, third wave, text 26. Shantir avyartha kalatvam viraktir mana shunyata asha bandha. You all know what is this asha bandha? Asai Bandangal. All right. Asha Banda Samutkanta Namagane Sadaruchihi. Ashaktistat Gunakyane Pritistat Vasatistale Ityadayo Nubhava Bhavaha Shurjata Bhavan Kure Jane. So here Rupa Goswami described. Okay, who's describing? Rupa Goswami is describing. Okay, next describe the characteristic of a person who's actually developed his ecstatic love for Krishna. All right. Describe the characteristic of a person who has actually developed the ecstatic love. All right. Number one, the first one is he is always anxious. All right. He's always anxious to what? To utilize his time in devotional service to the Lord. He's always anxious to utilize his time. All right. Day and night. He always anxious to utilize his time in the devotional service of the Lord. He does not like to be idle. Just become idle. Don't do anything. He can never sit in one place. He does not like to be idle. He wants service always, 24 hours a day, without deviation. So now, Prabhus and mothers, when you go to the temple, when end up, the other devotees throw everything out and walk away. Do not lament. No lamentation from now. Ayo, I'm the only one I have to do. They all come, they enjoy, they run away. வந்தாங்க அனுபவிச்சாங்க ஆட்டம் போட்டாங்க கழட்டி விட்டு போயிட்டாங்க அல்ல நான் தானா நான் மட்டும் தானா நானே தானா. Right? So now what we do, sometimes there's a term in this motivational theory. It says you fake it till you make it. Even if you get an opportunity like that end up you're going to do all the things by yourself, even you have some kind of irritation, remember this statement. Write it down somewhere. Write it down in a small card. This 9 statement, right? Or the main one is number 1. Write it down somewhere. When you say, why only me? Remember, a devotee, a pure devotee is always like to utilize his time in devotional service. He does not like to be idle. He wants service. He wants, give me more. So when this opportunity happen, thank Krishna, my dear Krishna, my dear Guru Maharaj, my dear Prabhupada. Thank you for giving me the monopoly of the service. No one's here to do. All the things come to me. I have monopolized. Oh, how fortunate I am. I'm so ecstatic. I'm so excited. I have the monopoly of the service. I remember many years ago, I think it should be around 20 years ago or so. I used to go, when I went to go to SGMKL, one day I was just walking around the temple, because before that I was trained as brahmachari there. But after 10 years later, went to the temple, walk around. I went to the kitchen. I just went and looked at the kitchen. Suddenly I remember one Mataji. I can still remember her face. I said, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can I help you? I said, no, I'm just here. No, Prabhu, this is our service today. If you don't mind, today is my service, I can do it. I said, I didn't ask for anything. I just came and have a look. Oh, okay. I said, why did you say that? No, today is my service. I don't allow anyone to come. Today is my service to clean up the kitchen. Wow. So that's one example. If you get a chance like that, thank Krishna, my dear Lord. Thank you so much. Today I have monopolized the service. I got the service. Everything I am going to do. Yes. Right? That's first thing. Number 2, he is always reserved and perseverant. He always reserved and perseverant. That means reserve means he do not talk a lot. He doesn't like to come to the limelight. Sometimes when you see, like quite common, when the Guru Maharaj comes, all the devotees that we have not seen, they'll be standing there. Dance ding 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 ding. When the Guru Maharaj is here, this thing. Or when they got any activities, any like a Radha Yatra festival or Janmashtami festival, they like to come in front, be the limelight. Sometimes, it's quite common, why my name is not written. Oh, I do all the service. Why I didn't get recognized? So like that, until in Ipoh, we decided not to give any individual recognition. We don't want to recognize, oh, this Mataji have done this Prabhu have done that. We do not want to mention. Because if we forget any name, we are in trouble. Saswata Prabhu, do you have the same problem in your place? I think it's busy, all right. So they want recognition, right? So like that. So what we do in Ipoh? Well, thank you so much for all the devotees. We would like to first of all thank all the devotees, all the congregation, all the committee members for doing such a wonderful job. And also we like to thank all the donors who have donated as low as 1 ringgit to unlimited donation that we have received. We are so grateful to each and every one of you. It's safe to talk like that, because we don't want to particularly pinpoint on someone to say, well, this one, that, and this. We don't want to take the risk. All right. But now you look at this now. So the one who are the characteristic of person who are developing pure ecstatic love, number 2 is reserve and perseverant. He just do seva because that is his duty. Perseverant means he's have so much of patience, tolerance. All right. If got any challenges, he could tolerate it. He got any criticism, he tolerate. And he still remain in his service. He will never get upset. I will never come to temple anymore. I will never do this anymore. All this kind of thought will never come into his mind. So as long as we are always reserved, we don't come to the limelight, we just do the seva as per this thing, and they are very perseverance. This is the second characteristic of a pure devotional service. If you understand, please put a thumbs up. If not, I can repeat again. Are you all following me on this? Okay. How about others? Saki Mataji, Gandhi Mataji. Oh, there's a message here. Oh, Gandhi Mataji put there. Okay, okay. Right. Okay. So you got it, huh? Okay, Saki Mataji. So they always reserve and that's the second thing. Okay. What is the third thing? Third characteristic. The third characteristic is always detached from material attraction. All right. Always detached. Always detached from material attachment. That means he's not getting attached. He doesn't get captivated. When I see some devotee come in a big car, or when a devotee comes with so much of gold and ornament, wear the nice sari, or sometimes when you go to their house, say, Prabhu, I'm having a house program. Can you just come over to my house? We don't know how they live. They are in temple, they all this thing. But when you go to the house, we start to see, oh my God, look at the house. Wow. Oh, wow, look at, wow, so fantastic. This kind of attraction, they are always detached. All right. That's another third characteristic. All right. So that means, in other words, we do not want to become envious over other people. When you see a devotee or very opulent, it is their good karma and that's the blessing of their Guru and Krishna. And the thing that you should appreciate, even the person is so rich, he's living in an opulent house, he's having an opulent car, and yet he come to the temple and do his seva like a menial servant. See the bright side of him. Despite he's living in that kind of house, he wanted to associate only with devotees. So he invite devotees to the house. Please come to my house for prasadam. Please come to my house and have some sadhu sangha, harikatha, kirtan, bhajan, sankirtan. He's not calling his fellow business associate to come to the house and drink beer, have party. He doesn't want people to come to the house and talk about business. Sometimes you can see in MLM business, come to my house, talk about business, home meeting. But here what happened? The home meeting become transcendental. So we should appreciate, wow, look at this person was so opulent, so rich, and he's so nice, so humble, he utilized, he's the real practitioner of Yukta Vairagya to offer everything to the service of Krishna, devotee and Krishna. So as a devotee, I went to the house. I live in a normal house. I'm not so rich and opulent. But when he invited me to his house, he respect me. He gave me a comfortable seat. He served me with full of love and affection. He says some nice words. And you should say, wow, this kind of person, a wonderful devotee. We see the bright side of him, but not to get envious of his opulent. So all these things, the third characteristic, always detached from material attraction. Number 4, who does not long for any material respect. Right? Does not long, என்னது தமிழ்ல ஏங்குறது. Okay, he doesn't want that kind of recognition. He doesn't expect. Long means he don't have any kind of expectation for material respect in return of his activity. I have done such a great seva. So I want people to put a garland on me. Sometimes. Nowadays, you see, that's why in Radha Yatra, they prepare so many garlands. They see any senior devotees, any branch managers, a branch manager, branch president, chairman comes, they immediately want to put the mala to avoid conflict. All these things, they just say easy. All right, of course, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they're purposely doing. Of course, very, very respectful to recognize and to respect a devotee. But you as a person, oh, sorry, I shouldn't say you. I as the person, I should not long for any kind of material respect. Right? I have done this much of service. Why I'm not getting any recognition? All right. So this is also quite common. This is the big headache as a chairman. All right. Of course, Saswata Prabhu have experienced that also. All right. I did this. Why I don't recognize? Or I did everything by myself. But why people don't come and recognize me? You know. So it is not easy to maintain this kind of people. That's why I always try to avoid for from getting into this kind of trouble. You know. Anyway, being a chairman is a great service to Krishna, and you have to be super strong. Okay, you got a very good experience. All right. So he does not long for any material respect. So when I am a devotee, I should not, I just do my job. Even I do a perfect job. And of course, in the limelight, my name is not mentioned. This project was done by Padita Tarna Jagannath Das. Because of his expert managerial skill, we could do this. All right. They didn't put that, but they put somebody else's name, the chairman of the temple who didn't do anything. Or any of the dignitaries, they come. They put their name. Oh, this thing has been done by ABC Das. ABC Das have done a fantastic job. And I'll be wondering, lembu punya susu, sapi dapat nama. I did everything, but definitely get the name. How can that be? So now, because we are always, rule number 2, we reserve and perseverance. Number 3 is we are detached from material attraction. Number 4, I do not long for any kind of material respect in return of my activities. All right. So I am doing my seva to please my Lord because that is my constitutional position. I am a servant of the servant of the servant. I am the maid servant. You have a maid in your house. You do not respect your maid. Yes or not? Have you done that? Do they do that? Even she do job perfectly, sometimes you don't even praise her. But if she do simple mistake, you scold her. The maid cannot say, oh, I did good, you don't praise me. I do something bad, you scold me. Oh, it's not fair. When you become a maid, you don't ask that kind of question. Even when you work in your organization, you do a fantastic job. Your manager or your boss don't even want to recognize it. You do one small mistake, your boss can fire you. Can fire you in front of others. You ni bodoh ka? Tak tahu ke ni kerja? Still, we put our head down, tolerate, and we just move on. So similarly, the same thing here. So the constitutional is, I am the servant of the servant of the servant. I do not desire any kind of respect, any kind of recognition. I am simply performing my duty. Always remember that in my heart. I always remind this in my heart. You know, honestly telling some of the things that I've done, I should get a national level recognition. Sometimes what I have done, they don't even mention it to my spiritual master. All right. But I believe he understood it. Yes, of course, he understands. There's a lot of reciprocation happens. You know, spiritual master is wonderful personality. I start to have kind of recognition in the terms of he come to my dream, give me some instructions. So anyway, so like sometimes they say, you've done this, you should know. It's okay lah. Who cares? I do for my guru only. I do for Prabhupada only. Who cares whether they recognize me or not? But for some, even they distributed 10 Bhagavad Gita, they want to put their name in limelight. I'm not saying anything comparing. I'm not doing any kind of fault finding. We are doing a case study. How that I should practice. Right? So do not long for any kind of material respect. Number 5, he is always certain that Krishna will bestow his mercy upon him. Yes. He's always believe Krishna will take care. No worries. Oh my God. So I don't know what to do. Don't worry. Krishna will take care. A good example, like my spiritual master recently had oh my God, twisted intestine. The twisted intestine is like a colic pain. Maybe Vaishnava Prabhu can tell what is colic pain, right? It's a horrible pain, right, Prabhu? Colic pain.
It's a griping pain, Babu.
Yeah, it's so terrible, right?
Yeah, can be very bad. Can even start
Very bad.
sweating, Babu.
That what?
You will start sweating.
Sweating, yes.
Hmm.
It's like a dying kind of pain, right? Extremely painful, right?
Like getting squeezed now, Babu.
Yes. Okay. Because the intestine twisted. He was such a pain. They immediately brought him to the Adventist, Penang Adventist. And they were so worried they would try to want to do an emergency evacuation to Chennai and all these kind of things. But somehow or other, with some fluid and everything, it became. But I did not see Guru Maharaj showing the expression of pain. You know, during that session in the final day, you know, that in Penang, he came live. He was in the hospital. Okay, the food is going through his nose. There are things like this. He spoke as though nothing happened. Right? And after that, when he recovered, when he come out, the Penang Advent, you know, when we meet in Penang last Sunday, when he came, he looked like as though nothing happened. All right? That is that dependency on Krishna. I didn't see any kind of remorseness. I didn't see any kind of grim look, like, oh, pain or lethargic, tiredness. He was talking, and we all thought, oh my God, such a sickly man. What's going to happen? Then suddenly he started to scream, Gauranga! Oh my God, as though he got trance. As though that Lord Narashinga is I started raw. Imagine when the people in pain say, Gauranga, Gauranga, like that, right? But suddenly he start to scream, Gauranga! Oh my God. Everybody got a shock. Huh? Then everybody started to say, Gauranga. Then second time he screamed, Gauranga. Third time he started to scream, Gauranga. As though nothing happened to him. Look at that. How powerful is that personality? Right? Even like, remind me about Bhakti Charu. I was listening to some lecture yesterday. The final moment of Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Before he left, he said, I am the warrior, I'm the soldier. The last word before he left to America. I have to go. When I see all my soldiers are suffering, as the captain commander, I have to be there. I have to stand in front during the COVID pandemic. But he went there, he got it. Even the final moment of he got COVID and everything, that time if you get a COVID, is sure death. But I didn't see any kind of remorse. I don't see any kind of fatigue, any kind of frustration, fear in his face. He's so relaxed. Right? Started to give thumbs up and everything. Eventually, he left his body. Of course, he went back home, back to God. So what I'm saying, this is one of the things that we should try to imbibe. All right? We should always believe this firmly, without a single doubt. Krishna will bestow his mercy upon him. Krishna will take care. Right? Krishna will take care. Nothing to worry. Krishna will take care. Okay? That's because in material life, you see everywhere is like, and I mean, what they call blocked roads. You know that Muchandi. All right? It's what they call. What would they call it? Dead end. You go, suddenly it's a dead end. You go that way, dead end. Everywhere in our life is dead end. All right? We think we're on a highway, but we go so happily after thousands of miles, we go there, end up is a dead end. So it's wasted 1,000 miles travel. In life, everything is dead end. But in spiritual life, nothing is dead end. You travel the road and you see there's a dead end. You think there's a dead end, but you go there, you'll be surprised to see Krishna has opened up his path. He have opened up the path. You still travel. There is no dead end in spiritual life. Just move on. Number 6, he is always very eager to serve the Lord faithfully. When we start to serve Krishna, we serve with so much of faith. So when we serve Krishna with so much of faith of what? Not faith with expectation. We faithfully means I am worshipping you. All right? With so much eager. They are very eager to serve this Lord with the faith. Okay, like that. Huh? Okay, now I don't go into detail. Number 7, he is very much attached to the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. When the time that where's my beats? Okay, when the time when I supposed to chant, nothing in these 3 world matters. All right, you do not need to keep your handphone with you. Like that day, Bhakti Vinyan Goswami class, I think I shared in the group, right? The lecture. Before you chant Hare Krishna, don't ever look at your phone. Throw your phone away. All right. So I used to tell myself, oh, then sometimes my wife said, emergency. How if it's emergency? I said, I am not a doctor to go and save life. I'm not a paramedic. All right. If me knowing the first hand news, what is that advantage? You know, it took me so much of effort to be detached from news. My father was a newspaper addict. You know, until he left his body, I have not even a single day that a newspaper never delivered to our house from the day I was born. My father reads every word. He's an addict. Every word. He's so addicted to the newspaper. A day without newspaper, he can go crazy. After he left his body, I decided no more news. It's all bad news. Not a big deal. I deleted my social media. I deleted all this thing. And I'm totally abstain. I don't even listen to this this thing, not online news, nothing. I don't know what is happening around the world. All right. So is that if because of that, did I deprive of anything? Like the day yesterday when Mataji called, there was a fatal accident near her house. Husband, wife both died. Oh, really? No, Prabhu, came up with newspaper. We didn't know. I didn't know. All right. If I knew it earlier, what is the advantage? Can I go and bring the life back to that deceased person? All right. But eventually, after 1 week later, I still got the news. So what's the big deal? Right? Detach. So that means when you chant Hare Krishna, always remember this. This is my new affirmation I've created. Before I start chant Hare Krishna, I just tell me, okay, maybe later I can share some of my affirmation I created. I share in the group. All right. Or I should say, anyone wants that affirmation, please send me. Please put in the group. Right? Please send me the affirmation. I send you personally. I want it to be very authentic. The one who are really serious, I would like to give it to them, not to anyone else. All right? Because I've created the affirmation and it's really fantastic. Okay. So, what happened? Okay, let me come back. Okay, so in conclusion, I just tell, nothing matters. When I chant Hare Krishna, nothing in these 3 worlds matters. Nothing matters. All right. I am not going to get entangled with any social media. I don't care who say what. I don't care suddenly RON 95 become 10 ringgit per liter. It doesn't matter. Because if the thing matters, do I have the power to change it? I can't do anything. So what is the purpose? Nothing matters. So that means we must be very attached to the chanting. So when you start to be attached to the chanting, when you start to follow the first six principle, your attachment to the chanting is different. You feel like your chanting is a kind of different taste. Try it. Number 8. He is always eager to describe the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Right? So that means you have no time for prajalpa, no time for nonsense talk. He doesn't want to go and talk some politics, some family affairs, gossip, everything. They're not interested. But whoever comes and start to speak about Harikatha, when they start to speak about Harikatha, the pastimes of Srila Prabhupada, the pastimes of Gaura Hari, Sachidanandan Gaura Hari, the pastime of Brajananda Krishna, this creates a kind of excitement and ecstasy. But now the question is, but why did you mention Prabhupada? Why did you mention your Guru Maharaj? You said describe the transcendental quality of Guru Krishna, but why did you mention Guru? Because we should understand, Guru is Krishna. Guru is the material mercy manifestation of Sri Krishna. When you get a Guru, Krishna is there. When you receive the initiation, it is not the Guru, it's Krishna in the form of Guru is giving you. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 1. Please study that. That is the thing, devote spiritual master. You must study and memorize. You must practice that. Because Guru is Krishna. Who is the Guru? First, the Guru that gives you initiation, Diksha, is Krishna. Second is the Guru that gives you instruction, Siksha, also Krishna. And they are the mercy potency. But of course, when the Guru start to think, I am Krishna, gone case. That's why we worship our Guru. Right? So when we start to speak the glories of our spiritual master, the pastimes of Sri Krishna, right? Sachidananda Gaurahari, okay, Brajendra Nanda Krishna, that is gives you so much of ecstatic love. Right? Then number 9, the 9th last quality, very pleased to live in the place where Lord pastime perform. Example like Mathura, Vrindavan and Dwaraka. Now the question is, Alama, how am I supposed to go to Mathura, Dwaraka and Vrindavan? How can I do that? I am missing. But you must understand, I was thinking, lamenting, yes. In fact, like many times also I said in the class, get a chance, go. But now I start to realize one thing. Every manifestation of Krishna that appears in your temple, it is the manifestation of Mathura, Vrindavan, Dwaraka or Navadvip. Like in Ipoh, we have our main deity, Parama Karuna Nittai Gauranga. So when we see Parama Karuna Nittai Gauranga, Nityananda Prabhu is so much of mercy, Parama Karuna, supremely merciful. So now we have the pastimes of Mayapur happening in Ipoh. Right? When you look at SJMKL, they have the pastimes of Jagannath Puri is in KL. Puri Jagannath. Because their main deity is Jagannath Baladi Subhadra. When you go to Todu, you see Brajanandan Vrindavan Krishna. Brajanandan Krishna. Where his name is Kannaya. Kannaya means what? We don't have Dwaraka or Leela there. We have Mathura and Vrindavan Leela. Kannaya. Kannaya is a way of calling Krishna, my Kanna. Hey Kannaya. You know. Okay. Vrindavan is in Todu. Mayapur is in Ipoh. How about Skudai? I think they have Radha Madhava. They have Mayapur in Radha. Todu, I mean, Skudai is Radha Madhava, right, Prabhu? Your presiding deity. Taki Champakalata Mataji. Are you there?
Yes.
Yes. What's your deity, Mataji?
My home deity or temple deity, Prabhu?
Temple deity.
Gaurnitai, Prabhu. Gaurnitai Prema Ananda. Guru Maharaj gave me.
Premananda Gaurnitai.
Gaurnitai Prema Ananda.
Yeah, Premananda, full of love. And your house is Radha Madhava.
Radha Madhava.
Is the deity in front of you now? Are you see?
Yes, Prabhu. Nearby.
Everyone just okay, now I've highlighted Jana. Show us a deity. We want to feel some Radha Madhava feeling here.
Sure. Sure, Prabhu. Wait, I'll turn the camera. I don't know how to turn this.
Another?
I don't know how to turn this camera, Prabhu. Can I might do like this?
Wow. Look at that.
Radharani.
That is
Madhava.
Sri Radha Madhava from Mayapur. Radha Madhava is the prime deity of ISKCON. And all the other deities, oh, Jagannath Baladisu. Okay, nice. Very nice. Jai Sri Jagannath Baladisu Patra. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. So now the thing is, where am I going to go? We have everything. Prabhupada says, that's why Prabhupada says, I have built the temple. I brought Vrindavan to you. I brought Mathura to you. I brought Dwaraka to you. I brought Puri Jagannath to you. I brought Ayodhya to you. What is your mood? Take it. Right? So what is your mood? You are in which kind of mood? And that type of mood, the deities have been created. Right? So we should be always, we'll be very pleased to live in the place, okay? Like Mathura, Vrindavan, Dwaraka. Okay? So when we have, So of course, if you don't have a facility to stay in the temple, like sometimes in Ipoh, devotees will come and stay on Saturday, all right? They'll put up a night, and Sunday morning they'll start to do Mangalarti, everything, they go back. If you get a chance, do that. If not, do not miss your Sunday program or Saturday program. All right. So far, any question? Now we have already, because why I need to go through this? Because later when we're going to study the extension of the 9 symptoms, we're going to go through in detail studies. But before that, any questions? If everyone understood what we spoke, just put a thumbs up.
பிரபு சார் ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா பிரபு
Yes, Mataji.
டைம்ல கேள்வி ஞாபகம் வர நீங்க ஸ்மால் கேள்வி கேளுங்க bro. உண்மையா தெரியுதால எங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிடும். டெஸ்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
என்ன டெஸ்ட் பண்ண சொன்னீங்க?
இப்ப நீங்க கொடுத்த டாபிக் ஸ்மால் கொஸ்டின் நீங்க கேட்டீங்கன்னா நாங்க கேள்வி கேட்கல, நீங்க கேள்வி கேளுங்க. அப்ப நாங்க உண்மையா எங்களுக்கு தெரியுதா இல்லைன்னு அப்ப தெரிஞ்சிடும் பிரபு.
அப்படியா? சரி. சேவை உங்களுக்கு மட்டும் கிடைச்சா ஓகேயா? You only get all the service. Will you be lamenting?
எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஷேர் பண்ணணும் பிரபு. சர்வீஸ்னா எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஷேர் பண்ணாதான்.
No, say like in the temple you go.
ஓகே.
எல்லாம் சண்டே ப்ரோக்ராம் எல்லாம் கழட்டி விட்டு போயிட்டாங்க.
நம்ம சந்தோஷப்பட்டு செய்யணும். ஏன்னா டிவோஷனல் சர்வீஸ்ன்றது வந்து பியூர் டிவோட்டினா வந்து நான் சர்வீஸ் எவ்வளவு கிடைச்சா லெமன் பண்ணாம அவங்க செய்வாங்க. நான் கருணையை கிருஷ்ணனோட கருணையை எடுத்து செஞ்சுக்குவாங்க.
எஸ்.
அதுக்காக
அந்த
கஷ்டம்.
நேரத்துல என்ன செய்யணும்னா சந்தோஷமா இருக்கணும். எஸ், எல்லாமே எனக்கு வந்துருச்சு. Always think about this method called monopoly. Mataji, are you there? Okay, I give you one example. Skudaiல there is no insurance agent other than your husband. எப்படி இருக்கும்?
நல்லா இருக்கு.
Entire Skudai, there's no insurance agent. Only your husband is the only one insurance agent. எப்படி இருக்கும்?
ஜாக்பாட் பிரபு.
அதே மாதிரிதான் ஜாக்பாட். எஸ், அதே ஜாக்பாட் தான். யாருமே இல்ல கோயில், எல்லாம் என் தலையில கட்டி விட்டு போயிட்டாங்க. எஸ். So that's one of the things, right? Okay. All right. Anyone else got anything before we move on? Oh, we have Vivan here. Like to congratulate one of the congregation member here, Vivan. Vivan has been accepted initiation, and Vivan got the name Vraja Prema Krishnadas. You should change your name, Vivan.
Hari bol bro. Krishna. Okay.
Vraja Prema Krishna Das. Oh, wait. Vraja Prema Krishna Das. Okay, I changed it ready for you. Next time come in with this name. Okay?
Okay bro. Thanks bro.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's move on. All right. So now let's look at text 29. Ata avyartha kalatvam yata hari bhakti sudodaye. Okay. 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 This is from that. Okay. Hari Sudodaya. He's quoting from Hari Sudodaya. Ata avyartha kalatvam yata hari bhakti sudodaye. Ata means sometimes when you see the word ata, that means referring. All right. Now the book is referring. Okay. Let's look at the verse. Vakbihi stuvanto manasa smarantas tanva namantopi anisham na tripta bhakta sravanetra jala samagram ayur harir eva samarpayanti. Editor's note, verse 29 is placed before 27 to fit English text. Okay. Now, okay, what does that mean? Now you see 29 and here you see 27. Supposed to come in sequence, right? 29 முடிஞ்சு 27 முடிஞ்சு 28 29 வரணும். ஆனா இது தலைகளாக்கிட்டாங்க. ஏன் அப்படி ஆக்குனாங்க? Why? Because to make a make English text. So English translation வந்து கரெக்ட்டா வரதுக்காக they twisted. So that's what he says. All right. Now vakbi stuvanto manasa smarantas tanva namantopi anisam na triptaha bhakta sravanetra jala samagram ayur harir eva samarpayanti. So now he's talking about the utilization of the time. Okay. An unalloyed devotee, that means the devotee who don't have any kind of, that means pure devotee, has developed ecstatic love for Krishna who are developed, that means once they develop the ecstatic love, prema for Krishna, or always engaging his words in reciting prayers to the Lord. All right, always engaging his words, all right, in reciting prayers to the Lord. Okay, so within his mind, he always thinking of Krishna, and with his body either offers obeisances by bowing down or before the deity or engage in some other service. So the body used to pay obeisances and engage in this thing. And during this ecstatic activity, when they do this, that means their mind thinking about Krishna, the word always speak, worship Krishna in words, right? And body always bowing down to Krishna. What happened? During this ecstatic activity, he sometimes shed tears. Sometimes he start crying. In this way, his whole life is engaged in the service of the Lord, with not a moment wasted in any other kind of engagement. So not a moment wasted on any other engagement. All right. He doesn't waste time in some other kind of engagement. All right. So this reminds me about, I don't know whether I shared the video about Pran Govinda Prabhu, my mentor. Did anyone of you watch that video? The recent one? I shared in the group. Anyone watched it? Put a thumbs up if anyone watched it. Oh, no one, huh? Okay, please go and watch that video. It's on a Damodar Leela, and it's very interesting. In that, he says, you must speak to your deity at least 1 hour a day. Right? You must speak to him. See, if you have a lover, right, or beloved, first when you start to fall in love, you start to always like to call and talk to your beloved. Or sometime when you go overseas or you go outstation, you like to call your husband or your wife or your children, you like to talk to them. But now, of course, very unfortunate, everybody only WhatsApp. They don't even want to call and talk. All right, but of course, thank God the children still not able to read the WhatsApp. So they prefer to call and talk to them. So when we go on calling for hours, say like we speak to say if I'm when it's in Japan or in this thing, I just call my wife, call my children, especially my daughter, talk to her. I like to listen to the voice. So when I keep talking to her, how are you and everything, and sometimes when you call, you know, when you have a speaking is building a relationship, right? When you go on talking, two things will happen. When you talk prajalpa, will end up in fight. When you talk nonsense, end up in fight, quarrel, and can cause even death. But when you talk with love, it creates bondage. It creates attachment. It creates a kind of wonderful feeling. Your bonding with your children, bonding with your wife will become more ecstatic. So when you speak in love, it creates a beautiful environment. If you simply talk nonsense outside in a coffee shop, you know, talk nonsense, you are attracting. Okay, what example Prabhupada give in the we studied that in the Nectar of Devotion introduction. Can anyone tell me? No. In Nectar of Instruction. Prajalpa, talking nonsense. What analogy Prabhupada gave? Can anyone tell me?
குளிச்சிட்டு திருப்பி மண்ணை தூக்கி போட்டுக்கிறது அதான் பிரபு.
இல்ல. No, not that. Prabhupada gave a fantastic analogy. Alama, ayyo, pocha. Haribol. Next of instruction.
ஹிண்ட் கொடுங்க பிரபு, ட்ரை பண்றேன்.
Nandadi Mataji, I see you taking so much of notes. Sadguna Mataji never missed any class. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Vraja Prema Krishna Das. What do you think? No, you all know, but you can't extract out. Yes or not? Say something. Hello. Why are all of you so quiet today? Thinking, thinking hard.
Memory is bad, bro.
Okay, how about you, Gandhi Mataji? Saras Mataji, Nandari Mataji, Sadguna Mataji.
Can't remember, Prabhu.
Can't remember. Okay. Croaking of a toad. Now you remember? தவளை மாதிரி கட 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 கத்திட்டு இருக்கிறது.
Yeah, brother.
What happened? Vaishnava Prabhu.
Inviting the snake.
Inviting the snake. That means inviting death. So, your analogy that when you talk nonsense, when you talk craps, end of the day, you just like a croaking of a toad. Kada kada, then the snake says, my dinner is ready. So, you're inviting the snake, come and eat me, come and eat me. That is how the Prajalpa, talking nonsense. Talking nonsense, inviting death. But when you speak some loving stuff with your family, with your loved ones, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, children, you create bond, you create bonding, you create a beautiful environment. Similarly, my dear Prabhus and mothers, you have to speak to Krishna. Make a habit to speak to Krishna. All right, to the deities, your deities, speak to your deities. All right. I've taken a commitment to speak to my deities 1 hour a day. One day, at least 1 hour, I'm going to speak to him. Speak to them because I got Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. All right. So sometime when I'm traveling, you know what can I do? I just take a photo of my deity. I just open my camera and my phone and I start to talk to them. Talk to them. When you go on talking to your deities, you create bond. All right. You create kind of a beautiful feeling. Sometimes when you're stuck in the jam, you know, when you go out and everything, from thinking nonsense, from watching some nonsense things, you rather start to speak to deity. You know, Jagannath, you know, Krishna, you know, Sri Radha Madhava, you know, Madhava, you know, what I've understood today. You know, I went there, I saw these, you know, these and that. Talk to the deities. Even like you see during the war, the soldiers will keep the photo of their wife and children. And whenever they have the free time, they just open the photo and look at the photo of their wife and the children. They start to talk and they start to write. It's a very powerful emotion. Please watch that video I shared about Pran Govinda Prabhu day before yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yesterday or day before yesterday. Right? So, like that, you can create an ecstatic love. Huh? Another thing that I got idea is, why not we can try writing a letter to the deities. Write a letter. All right, write a letter. My dear Krishna, today on this day, this day, you know, just write a letter, like as though you're writing a letter to your beloved. Write a letter. All right, and keep it. All right. So when you go back home, back to Godhead, of course, Krishna will be holding the letter and says, yes, thank you so much for your letter. So like that. So this is the thing that can create bond, utilizing the time. Okay. Okay. The next one, 27, verse 27. Tatra shanti shobhahetavapi prapte shantir akshubitat mata. Perseverance. That means what? When a person is undisturbed, even the presence of various disturbance, even there's so much of disturbance, and he's remain calm, not disturbed, he is called reserved and perseverant. So whenever you start to have some disturbance situation, frustration situation, you, of course, as a human being, you can grumble maybe to your best friend or to your confidential devotee. That's it. Tolerate. Move on. All right? This is the thing. So when they're undisturbed, even the presence of various cause of disturbance. All right? All right. Now let's look at the next one, quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.19.15, re-quoted here in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu at 1.3.28. First wave, first ocean, third wave, text 28. Yata pratame. Yata, see, yata means what? Just now I said. Yata means quoting, right? Yata, whenever you see the word yata means, that means they are quoting from some book. All right? Quotation. Tang mopayatang pratiyantu vipra gangacha devi drita chittam ishe dvijopasrista kuhakas takshakova dashatvalam gayata vishnu gataha. An example of this perseverance and reservation. Okay, the example of this perseverance and reservation found in behavior where? Of King Parikshit. As described in 1st Canto, 19th chapter, verse 15 in Srimad Bhagavatam. The king says there to all the sages present before him at the time of death. What he says? My dear Brahmanas, you should always accept me as your surrendered servant. I have come to the bank of the Ganga just to devote my heart and soul unto the lotus feet of Krishna. So please bless me that Mother Ganga may be pleased with me. Let the curse of the Brahmana son fall upon me. I do not mind. All right, the Brahmana son and the boy curse, he could counteract the curse, he could get rid of the curse because Parikshit is very powerful. But he says, no, let the curse fall upon me. I only request that all the last moment of my life, at the last moment of my life, all of you will kindly chant the holy name of Vishnu so that I may realize these transcendental qualities. So what he's asking, at that moment, dear Brahmanas, devotees, the time for me to die is already here. I accept the fact that I'm going to die, right? So bless me and bless me that the Mother Ganga will be very pleased with me, right? At the same time, he says, I request all of you that kindly chant the holy name of Vishnu. Go on chanting. So because when you start to chant the name, I will realize his transcendental qualities. So then I could remember the transcendental qualities and go back home, back to Godhead. So when the time comes, a devotee can accept death, the fact of life, but the ignorant people still believe they're going to move on. All right. I have seen a person like the owner of this Sunway group. He's a ripe old man. I think he should be around 90 plus. Now he's developing Ipoh area. There's a Tambun building. He built a Sunway, what they call a hospital, biggest, trendiest mall in Ipoh, Perak, or in Malaysia, I think. Water theme park, spoiling the entire environment. That's it. There's such a beautiful place near the mountain. Everything is spoiled. All right. Now, the small sleeping town of Tambun, when Prime Minister Anwar became from that constituency, and now that place became crazy. All right, there's a huge migrant, huge urbanization. So it's going to create. So, okay, what I'm trying to tell you here is, still the Karmi thinks he's going to go on. At that ripe old age, he's thinking of developing Tambun town, make into a entertainment city. So when all these things happen, a lot of meat eating will happen, a lot of gambling will start place, a lot of illicit sex will happen, all right? And all this kind of nonsense start happening in the place which is so clean and pure. So okay, anyway, so we don't talk about that karmi. So what we are saying here is, this is how the devotee says, please chant, remind me so I could remember the transcendental qualities. So this example of Maharaj Parikshit behavior is remaining patient even at the last point of life. So we must remember this. We must remain patient. Even at the last point of life, his undisturbed condition of mind is an example of reservation. This is one of the characteristic of a devotee. This is one of the characteristic of a devotee who has developed the ecstatic love for Krishna. Okay. Now let's look at the verse 30. Ata virakti. Virakti indriyartanam. Syat arochakata swayam. So whenever you don't see the word tata, all right, when you see yata, yata means quoting. So ata means who's commenting? Rupa Goswami is commenting. So now he's talking about detachment. What is detachment means? Okay. What is detachment? Okay. The senses are always desiring. Our senses always desiring for enjoyment. Yes or not? Our senses are always desiring for enjoyment. Sometimes when we travel, we like to see beautiful things because our eyes naturally want to see beautiful things. Right? Sometimes when you see some pretty girls, our eyes would like to look at them because the eyes like to see beautiful things. Right? Our tongue always want to eat some relish thing, right? Like example, they say that according to Ayurveda, sometimes you say, okay, now you stay in Pantang, I say, okay, now you should eat what they call food without salt. Can you do that? Prabhu, this is prasadam I offer to Sri Sri Radha Madhava. It's a Maha Prasadam. I give it to you. But when you put in time, hey, why no salt? No, Prabhu, you cannot take salt. Oh, can you? Then what happened? Your intelligence says this is a Mahaprashadam of Radha Madhava and I'm so fortunate to have it. But the senses is, come on. Uppulada pindam, uppulada pindama pandama, uppu illada pandam kuppaile. The food without salt is worth to be thrown to the dustbin. Right? So always, our senses always wants enjoyment. Okay. But when the devotee developed transcendental love for Krishna, what happened? Senses are no longer attached to material desire. All right. The senses are no longer attracted to material desire. The state of mind is called detachment. Please remind me about a story of in Chaitanya Charitamrita, but I don't know who's the person, but there is a devotee who have leprosy. Is it leprosy or was it leprosy or from the low caste?
Leprosy.
Or something like that. Leprosy, yeah. Someone going to eat from the dustbin, right?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. What is his name, Prabhu?
I forget his name, but he once cursed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhu.
No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hug him and all the disease cure.
Yeah,
I'm talking about that.
in the beginning he cursed him, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him taking a worm from outside and putting back in the wound.
Yeah.
He was suffering so much. Prabhu. One worm fell down from the wound. He put the worm back.
Oh.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw this incident. He forgave him.
Yes. And he hugged him and everything cured, right?
Yeah, he hugged him, everything got cured.
Okay, that's the story. What happened? This particular devotee, what happened? He goes to the dustbin where all the remnants of the food thrown into Jagannath Puri, all the pots, because they cook the pot only once. After that, they will throw it away. So all the pot that has been thrown, a broken pot, there's some remnants of prasadam here and there. I think it's another story, Prabhu, not this person. So what happened? The dogs will be eating at the same time. This particular sadhu, I'm not sure. I'm just mixing up the story. Anyway, the content is this: he go there, he take all the food that has been spoiled. That means all the food they thrown away. Eventually it'll spoil. He go and take the remnants and start eating.
Prabhu, that is Raghunatha Das, Prabhu.
Raghunath, he's the one, right? This the story, is it?
Yeah, no, you're talking a difference. Raghunatha Das, he was taking all the useless food and then he used to wash it and eat it.
Yes. And he also eat the pot, right? The earthen pot.
No, eating the pot is Madhavendra Puri, Prabhu.
Madhavendra Puri, okay. Wow. See, your memory is good, Prabhu.
No, Prabhu.
My memory is rotten. Yes, Madhavendra Puri will eat the pot that offered, manchatti. He'll eat the pot. And Raghunath Das, he will go and eat the remnant of the food. I was wondering, how are these people? I mean, I can't see the picture. I can't see. But now, I realize. Only now, along with you, I'm studying this. Now I realize. Look at that, the detachment. The senses are always designed for sense enjoyment. But when the devotee develops transcendental love, he's no longer attracted to material desire. He doesn't care whether the food is pungent, whether the food is smelly, or what. For him, he's in ecstasy because he's taking the remnant of food eaten by Krishna. By Sri Jagannath Mahaprabhu. Sri Jagannath. All right? He doesn't have that feeling. He doesn't have the feeling of smelly. He doesn't have to put the tongue, it's kind of weird taste, this thing. He don't care. He just simply take and put. He's in ecstasy that he's eating the prasadam of Jagannath. Of course, we don't imitate and don't artificially try this at home. All right? But this will happen spontaneously. This is the symptoms that we are studying. All right? Don't suddenly say, from tomorrow onwards, all the food which is going to go waste, all pungent, all wasted, I eat. Finish, then you're going to get diarrhea. All right? Okay. Now, let's look at this. Yata Panchame. Okay, what does it mean? Yata means? Can anyone tell me? What Yata means? Come on, quickly. Time is running.
Coating.
Coating. Very good. So Yata means coating. All right. This is long. Okay, short one. Yata. So Yata means he's coating. All right. He's coating from Panchame. All right. 5.14.13. He says, Yo dustayajan dara. Sutan suhrik rajang hirdis prasha. How you Yuvaiva Malavat Uttama Shloka Lalasaha. There's a nice example of detachment. It's a nice example of detachment in the characteristics of King Bharata. In the 5th canto, 14th chapter, verse 43. Right? It says, Srimad Bhagavatam stated, Emperor Bharata was so attracted to the beautiful lotus feet of Krishna. Who? Emperor Bharata. That's why the India is called, the whole Bhumi was called Bharata Bhumi because of him. Right? He was so attracted to the beauty of the lotus feet of Krishna that even in his youthful life, he gave up all kinds of attachment, family, children, and kingdom, as though they are untouchable stools. As though they were untouchable stools. Oh my God. So it says here, the King Bharata was so attracted to the beauty of the lotus feet of Krishna. And that's why he gave up the attachment of his family, children, friend, and even his kingdom. He thinks that they all like untouchable stools because they're creating attachment. So Emperor Bharata, okay, so that's a term, okay? That means he went to the extreme level of detachment. But here the purpose is, Emperor Bharata provides a typical example of detachment. All right? So that means, example, when you want to detach from something, how to detach, this is one of the this is one of the example. All right? So sometimes when you want to come out of it, okay, so for instance, sometimes they say, typical way of detachment is when the man detached from his family, when the family start to misbehave, when the wife start to scold him, the children start to call words, you get very angry, then you get detached. So there's something that is heavily should have happened in order to give it up. Okay, say like for instance, I'm in a temple congregation and I had a very bad experience with the temple congregation. They say something very nasty about me. I get very angry. I detach from the temple. So detachment happened when something crazy happened, something heavy happened. But here, Emperor Bharata, what he did, he gave up that. He thinks that all these are like untouchable stools. Right? Malavat. Yauva Mala. Mala Uttama Shloka Lala. Malava means Malam. Malam nena solanga Tamil Malam dane, yes. Tai. So they feel like this kind of like a stool. Right? So he had everything enjoyable in this material. He have everything, but he left it. This means that detachment does not mean artificially keeping oneself aloof and apart from the allurement of the attachment. So that means he has everything, but he detached. So what we can understand from here, detachment doesn't mean artificially keeping oneself aloof and apart from the allurement attachment. That means everything is there, but artificially you are keeping aloof. That means I am very detached, but I go and sleep in a nice bed. I'm very detached. I can't sleep without aircon. So that's not the way. There's no artificial here. The thing must happen spontaneously. Even in the presence of such allurement, okay, now Prabhupada is explaining here. Nice explanation here. Okay, I use a different color. Right. He says, even in the presence of such allurement, that means even everything, there's so much of wonderful things happen, one can remain unattracted to the material attachment. Is called detached. Who is a good example? Prabhupada is a good example. Prabhupada lived a life of an emperor. He basically conquered every country in the world. In every country, there was a palace for him. In every country that he moved in, 108 centers that he created around the world, all were like a palace. They gave him the fine bed, the fine room. He fly first class, business class. In Australia, he was drove in a Rolls Royce. He had all the thing. He was having a very expensive watch. Even the straw that he drinks is made of gold. The disciple gave him, because the Ayurvedic doctor says he must eat and drink with the gold distinct, so for his health. So on devotee went and make a straw of gold. You can see in the Prabhupada's museum. The cup and all made of opulent. But not even once Prabhupada was attached to any of this. Right? Not even once he was attached. You can see sometimes When you go there, when you go to the temple, you just look up the temple, oh, nice, 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 But despite all these things in 1977, what happened? In the early days, end of 77, he left his world. But before that, the early part, he went to Jagannath Puri. He have already built 107 temples. He need the 108th. Where the last center was built in Jagannath Puri, Puri Jagannath, the last ISKCON center. He went and stayed in a hut. A personality that given palace all over the world. He lived an opulent life. Opulent. The king only can enjoy such opulence in his own country. A multi-millionaire can only apply like Vivek Oberoi and or like Oberoi family, or like another fellow, what is his name? Tata Birla. They can have a palace in their hometown, in the place they live. But they can go to other countries around the world. Say they come to Malaysia, they can rent the entire Hilton hotel. But remember, it's rented. They can't own it. They can go around the world, they can live life very opulently in a rented property. But Prabhupada owned all this property. He walked into America. There's so many palaces built for him. Like the Palace of Gold in New Vrindavan, Virginia. Palace of Gold. Can you imagine? Right? And Mayapur, just imagine the new Todu TOVP. You can't even think about it. 50 years of building. They're still building. Imagine they are giving all this, the temple that's going to be the icon for the next 10,000 years. Property belong to Prabhupada. Vrindavan. Right? So what I'm saying is, despite having all these opulent, Prabhupada went and stayed in a hut with his beloved disciple, His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj. And they had a lot of confidential, what they call confidential conversation. None of his Western disciples joined him there. Lived in a simple hut when there's a lot of palace. That is Prabhupada. Even have everything, you still remain unattracted to material attachment. That means it's called detachment. So in the beginning, of course, Prabhupada says, in the beginning, of course, a neophyte devotee might try to keep himself apart from all kinds of allurement attachment. In beginning, the neophyte, the new guy, they just try to stay away. But the real position of the mature devotee, the real position of the devotee who are matured is that even in the presence of such allurement, such wonderful thing, he is not at all attracted. This is the only criterion of detachment. And this is what Prabhupada have showed us by example. All right. So tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to meet up in the evening at 7 o'clock. We continue our discussion on the next one. And this is which page? Right, listeners. Okay. Page 137. Please mark page 137. All my pen, okay. Oh my God. Okay. Page 137. We're going to continue tomorrow. Okay. So, any questions, any comment? Oh, Raja Prema is one word, huh? Okay, okay. I thought it's two words. That's why I put two words. Raja Prema. Nice. Any questions? All okay? Is the session okay today? After so long?
Okay, Prabhu.
You learned something? Any takeaway, Mataji?
என்ன டக்குனு பிரபு நீங்க சொன்னீங்களே குரு மகாராஜ் பத்தி அவர் எங்க போனாலும் ஒரு உத்தம அதிகாரினா எங்க போனாலும் எலிமினேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. சோ அவங்க கூட இருக்கிறவங்களும் அந்த பிரகாசத்தை அனுபவிப்பாங்க. கரெக்ட் தானே பிரபு?
ஆமா, அது கூட இருந்தா பிரகாசம் அனுபவிப்பாங்க தான். இந்த ஹோல் மலேசியாவே அனுபவிக்குமே.
அன்னைக்கு நான் குரு மகாராஜ் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் இருந்தாரு, நான் பார்க்க போனேன். அப்ப அந்த ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் என்வரன்மென்ட் ஒரு வித்தியாசமா இருந்துச்சு பிரபு. எவ்ரிபடி சோ ஹாப்பி.
பின்னாங்களா?
அட்வர்டைஸ்ல பார்த்தேன். அப்ப குரு மஹாராஜ் அந்த மசோ பண்ற இடத்துல ராத்திரி போனேன் நானு. உள்ளுக்கு யாரையும் விடல. அப்புறம் அந்த செக்யூரிட்டி கார்ட் சொன்னாங்க, "நீங்க போங்க. நீங்க நீங்க வந்து சாமிஜிய பார்க்க போறீங்க. நீங்க போங்க" சொல்லிட்டு தி வர் சோ ஹேப்பி பிரபு. அவ்ளோ ஹேப்பியா இருக்கிறாங்க அவங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த அந்த வார்ட்ல அந்த நர்ஸ், டாக்டருங்கலாம் அவங்கலாம் பிரகாசமா இருந்தாங்க. நீங்க சொன்ன அந்த இலுமினேஷன் சொன்ன
இல்லையா?
தி சோ ஹேப்பி. அவங்க என்கிட்ட கேட்டாங்க, "யார் அவரு? இவ்ளோ பேர் அவர பார்க்க வராங்க. அவங்க கையில எல்லாம் கிளிக்கர் இருக்கு. சாண்டிங் கிளிக்கர் இருக்கு. உங்களுக்கு இது யார் கேட்டேன். அவரு தான் குடுத்தவரு. எங்களுக்கு சொல்ல சொன்னாரு. அவர் யாரு? அவர் என்ன செஞ்சிருக்கா? இந்த ஹரி கிருஷ்ணாக்கு ஏன் இவ்ளோ பேர் அவர பார்க்க வராங்க?" அவங்க முகத்துலலாம் அவ்ளோ ஒரு ஹேப்பினஸ் இருந்துச்சு பிரபு. சைனீஸ், மலே, இந்தியன் எல்லாருமே என்ன சுத்தி என்ன கேள்வி கேட்டாங்க. அப்ப எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஒரு சில விஷயம் நான் குரு மஹாராஜ் பத்தி நான் ஷேர் பண்ணேன். தி ஆர் சோ ஹேப்பி. நான் சொன்னேன், "உங்களுக்கு வாழ்க்கையில எங்களுக்கு கூட கிடைக்காத சான்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு கிடைச்சிருக்கு." ஆமா, நாங்க ஒரு மணி நேரத்துக்கு ஒரு தடவ போயிட்டு குரு மஹாராஜ் நாங்க தான் ரத்தம் எடுப்போம், பிபிலாம் எடுப்போம். உங்களுக்கு அந்த சான்ஸ் கிடைச்சிருக்கு. அவர் என்ன சொல்றாரோ அத நீங்க கேட்டுக்கோங்க. உங்க லைஃபே மாறிரும். சோ உங்களுக்கு பெரிய அசோசியேஷன் கிடைச்சிருக்கு. எல்லாரும் உலகமே ஏங்குது அவர் வரமாட்டாரான்னு. அவர் இங்க உங்க கூட இருக்கிறாருன்னு சொன்னேன். அவங்க எல்லாம் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாயிட்டாங்க. வி சோ ஹேப்பி பிரபு தி என்டையர் டீம். யா.
So nice, so nice.
Illuminating.
Yeah. ஆனா விட்டாங்க. பிகாஸ் ஐ வாண்ட் டு கோ அண்ட் see him, பட் ஆனா இதா பெர்மிஷன் கேட்காம போணும்.
ஓகே.
நான் முறைப்படி பெர்மிஷன் கேட்ட அவசியம் என்னை விடல.
பெர்மிஷன் கேட்க கூடாது பிரபு.
எம்புஷ் பண்ணிருக்கணும். ச்சே, மேட மிஸ்டேக்ல. ஏன் மாதாஜி டைம் கொடுங்க மாதாஜி இனிமே.
நீங்க அடுத்த தடவை எனக்கு கால் பண்ணுங்க பிரபு. எப்படி பூரணும்னு சொல்லி கொடுத்துறோம்.
என்னடா இப்போ உங்களை தான் கால் பண்ணி பேசணும். நான் முறைப்படி கேள்வி கேட்டேன். வரலாமா, பார்க்கலாமா,
அதெல்லாம்
இல்ல இப்போ வராத,
கேட்கக்கூடாது.
நிறைய பேர் வராங்க. எம்புஷ் பண்ணிருக்கணும்.
அது ஒரு டெக்னிக் இருக்கு பிரபு. அத நம்ம பார்த்துட்டே இருக்கணும். இந்த இடத்துல லுபங்க இருக்கு தெரிஞ்சா அடக்க பூந்துடலாம்.
அதான்.
ஆனா நாங்க குரு மஹாராஜ் உள்ள போய் டிஸ்டர்ப் பண்ணல. கதவு திறந்து காமிச்சாங்க. குரு மஹாராஜ் மீட்டிங்ல இருந்தாரு.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we got a very good darshanல. அந்த சண்டே வந்து அல்லாஹ் சொன்னாங்க, all the senior devotee only stay in front. இல்ல 1 second. அப்ப நான் வந்து எல்லாம் ஆக முன்னுக்கு வந்து உட்கார்ந்தாங்க. சரி, இதெல்லாம் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ண வேணாம். Alright, so dear devotees, thank you for all of your wonderful association. We meet again tomorrow, Saturday, 27th September, evening at 7 p.m. Sunday, the same thing, 7 p.m. We meet again because we want to try to catch up. Okay, there's some changes. Of course, anyway, I'll just keep you updated. Right? But we meet tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Don't miss the class in the evening. We're going to continue our discussion. Till then, have a nice day. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyacha paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo. Hare Krishna. Have a nice day. Go Ranga.